This is Epic Book Recaps, a podcast that offers complimentary audio summaries of influential nonfiction books, making learning a smarter experience. A Promised Land by Barack Obama. The emergence of a non-political president. The notion of Barack Obama, a man devoid of political roots, ascending to the highest position of power in America, was a dream that seemed inconceivable to his family. Obama's journey into politics was not a byproduct of a long-nurtured ambition, but rather a gradual process that was shaped by his personal experiences and the causes he held dear. Obama attributes his characterization of the world as a kind-hearted woman, a rebel at heart, to his mother. His mother, a woman who defied societal conventions, regularly engaged in conversations about civil rights and ongoing protests. Being born in Hawaii and later living in Indonesia exposed him to different cultures and societal structures, but what remained constant was his mother's distaste for corruption. The credit for his deep-seated sense of justice and fairness, Obama believes, goes back to his mother, a woman who championed the cause of the disadvantaged and openly condemned corrupt practices. The desire for change and fairness that Obama harbored was a direct influence of his mother's worldview. She envisioned a world brimming with opportunities and passed on this positive outlook to her son. However, politics was a realm that neither his mother nor the young Obama had any interest in. Despite their modest upbringing, his grandparents in Hawaii firmly believed in his potential for greatness, though the idea of him becoming the President of the United States was far from anyone's mind. As a teenager, Obama moved back to Hawaii to live with his grandparents while his mother continued to work in Indonesia. He accredits his shift in mindset to a book sale he stumbled upon during this period. He developed a deep interest in reading, which eventually led him on a path towards political awakening. Obama's academic journey brought him to Columbia University, where he diligently pursued his idea of America, a nation rooted in equality, where no one was singled out because of their differences. His academic journey culminated at Harvard Law School, where he graduated with the belief that America was a country where everyone was given equal regard and respect. A union of minds and hearts. Michelle Obama, then Michelle Robinson, was a 25-year-old law student and working associate in Chicago when she first met the man who would become her husband. Obama joined the same firm as a summer associate during his first year at Harvard Law School. Assigned to mentor and help him settle in, Michelle quickly formed a deep friendship with Obama that eventually blossomed into something more profound. Michelle was a woman of firm resolve, never backing down during disagreements and debates. This trait of hers caught Obama's attention. She backed his plans and ideas without hesitation, encouraging him to do what he felt was right. His initial plan was to return to Chicago permanently and pursue a career in law and community work with a focus on civil rights. Michelle's unwavering support played a pivotal role in Obama's success. Regardless of the skepticism surrounding his plans, she remained a steadfast ally. In 1992, Michelle and Obama got married. During this time, Obama had no political aspirations. His primary focus was to contribute to society through civil rights work. In 1997, Michelle became pregnant with their first child, Sasha. The prospect of becoming a father made Obama contemplate a more domestic life, perhaps dedicating more time to writing. However, his dreams refused to be subdued, and his interest in politics started to burgeon along with the Democratic Party's growth. He saw this as an opportunity to enact substantial changes. It was during this period that he took the first steps toward running for a seat in the U.S. Senate. The unlikely journey to the presidency. Becoming the president was never part of Obama's political blueprint, and he never believed it would happen. Today, many pat him on the back, claiming to have always known he was destined for greatness, but Obama himself was never sure of this. It was only in the early part of 2006 that the idea of pursuing the presidency became a serious consideration. The media was abuzz with interest in this young, charismatic newcomer, and his Senate office was inundated with requests for more information. After careful evaluation of the polls and all possible outcomes, it became apparent that Obama was one of the most likely Democratic candidates to be nominated for the presidency. However, Obama declared that he would only agree to run if his campaign could change the nation's perspective and make minorities feel as valued as the rest of the population. His campaign, launched in Springfield at the same location where Lincoln had launched his own many years before, was focused on promoting equality and fostering a sense of worth in everyone. He drew an unexpectedly large crowd of nearly 15,000 people for his first speech, where he discussed his primary campaign points: healthcare reform, addressing climate change, and fostering unity. Despite facing stiff competition from Hillary Clinton and making a few missteps along the way, Obama remained dedicated to his cause. He used his platform and his ethnicity to emphasize that all people were equal. Despite facing numerous obstacles, his hard work paid off when he was named the Democratic candidate for the 2008 presidential campaign, running against John McCain. He soon realized that securing the necessary votes was not solely about his campaign promises, but also about whether Americans were ready to accept a young, inexperienced black president. His campaign against McCain was a test of America's willingness to embrace change and chart a new course. Despite his lack of experience, Obama's passion for his cause was undeniable. To balance out their differences in character and experience, Obama chose the seasoned Joe Biden as his running mate. He saw in Biden a genuine desire for change and a kindness that was born out of personal tragedies. Having experienced the loss of his first wife and daughter in a car accident and later his son, Beau, Biden understood the importance of empathy and kindness. When all the votes were counted, Obama triumphantly emerged as the victor over John McCain, becoming the 44th President of the United States. The first days in the Oval Office. Obama's first visit to the Oval Office came when outgoing President George Bush invited him for a customary tour of the White House. Contrary to popular belief, the Oval Office is smaller than it appears, but it is a space filled with grandeur and significance. Over the course of his 2 terms, Obama spent countless hours in that room, always with a deep respect for its tradition. To Obama, the Oval Office was a symbol of steadfast democracy. Obama's first challenge as president was to navigate a faltering economy. With high unemployment rates and banks on the brink of collapse, immediate measures were needed. Concurrently, Obama was assembling his team and was determined to mend the rifts that had emerged during the race for candidacy. In a gesture of reconciliation, he appointed rival Hillary Clinton as his Secretary of State. Within a month of assuming office, he passed the Recovery Act in a bid to revitalize the economy. Although the road to recovery was long, Obama's swift action proved that he was not one to sit idle. This was soon followed by the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. In the midst of these series of actions, Michelle and their children adapted quickly to life in the White House. The girls often baked cookies with the kitchen staff and played in the halls, while Michelle launched a campaign to combat child obesity and assist military families. Obama realized that with his family residing in his workplace, maintaining a healthy work-life balance was of utmost importance. Despite the demands of his high-profile job, he always made time for his family. Mastering the art of international diplomacy. During his 2 terms in office, Obama became adept at handling the often tedious and lengthy speeches that were a part of international summits. Despite their critical importance, he observed that leaders were often subjected to routines at these summits that were time-consuming and distracted from more pressing matters. Consequently, Obama learned to make productive use of these summits. He would often bring extra paperwork to complete during dull moments, and he became skilled at conducting secondary business discreetly with other leaders. However, at his first summit in London, he decided to adopt the role of a novice. He listened attentively to everything, understanding that he was under scrutiny. By showing humility, he hoped to establish a rapport with other leaders and pave the way for smoother negotiations in the future. During his interactions with foreign leaders over his 2 terms, Obama carefully managed expectations and adapted his approach based on the strengths and weaknesses of leaders. He made a mental note of his observations at his first summit and used this information to guide his future discussions. A confrontation with Somali pirates. After his first G20 summit in London, Obama faced his first national security issue and terrorist incident. As he was boarding Air Force One to return to Washington, he was informed that a cargo ship with an American captain had been seized by Somali pirates. Piracy was a common issue in Somali and African waters, but the fact that an American was involved changed the dynamics of the situation. For 4 days, Obama and his national security team monitored the events closely and devised a plan. However, when the American captain attempted to escape, the pirates captured him. Faced with no other option, Obama ordered Navy SEAL snipers to fire on the pirates if they deemed the captain's life to be in danger. The captain was rescued, but the pirates were killed on impact. While the media hailed this as a victory for Obama, he couldn't help but consider the other side of the story. He understood that these young pirates were likely driven to their actions by desperation and indoctrination. This was a pattern he observed worldwide, particularly in the Middle East, where many young men were radicalized with illusions of religious glory. He openly acknowledges that while it is necessary to respond to such incidents, it is a part he never relished. The success of the Affordable Care Act. One of the landmark achievements of Obama's presidency was the passing of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. The bill, which was passed in 2010, was designed to make affordable healthcare accessible to everyone, including those with pre-existing conditions. Efforts to reform America's healthcare system were not new and had been attempted since the days of Theodore Roosevelt. By the time Obama took office, healthcare costs had ballooned, leaving around 43 million Americans without health insurance. Obama viewed healthcare reform as a personal mission that transcended politics. His motivation to safeguard the health of Americans stemmed from watching his family age and the passing of his mother. He witnessed the struggles they faced and resolved to address this critical issue that affected so many people. Healthcare reform was one of Obama's primary campaign promises, along with improving the economy, combating the effects of climate change, and enhancing national security. It was his commitment to these causes that led him to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Initially taken aback by his selection, he decided to dedicate his award to other world leaders who were striving for positive change at the ceremony in Oslo. The conspiracy theories of Donald Trump. During the second half of his presidency, Obama found himself at the receiving end of unproven conspiracy theories propagated by Donald Trump. Trump claimed that Obama was not American and was therefore ineligible to be the President of the United States. Initially, Obama dismissed these baseless rumors. The fact that he was born in Hawaii was well documented, and he had previously produced his birth certificate to quell similar rumors. However, as Trump's theories gained more traction and he became relentless in his accusations, Obama decided it was time to put the matter to rest. He publicly presented his long-form birth certificate, proving once more that he was indeed born in Hawaii. Following a press conference meant to draw a line under the issue, he expressed his relief to his staff at having put the matter to rest. The downfall of bin Laden. Of all the military decisions Obama had to make during his 2 terms in office, the raid on Osama bin Laden's compound stands out. Bin Laden, the mastermind behind the 9/11 attacks, had managed to evade capture for years. Upon receiving intelligence from the CIA that bin Laden was likely located in a compound in Pakistan, Obama had to make the critical decision of either authorizing a risky raid with uncertain outcomes or missing a potential opportunity to capture America's most wanted terrorist. The operation was planned without the knowledge of the Pakistani government to prevent any possible leaks that could allow bin Laden to escape. Obama and his team, including Hillary Clinton, watched the real-time execution of the raid by the Navy SEALs from the Situation Room of the White House. As the Black Hawks descended on the compound, the tension in the room was palpable. The moment the confirmation came through that bin Laden had indeed been killed in the raid, Obama felt relief not for himself, but for the families who had lost loved ones in the 9/11 attacks. The media around the world celebrated the event, making it one of the most memorable moments of Obama's presidency. Osama bin Laden was killed on the 2nd of May 2011. Obama's decision to authorize the raid was widely praised, and it brought some measure of peace to the families of the 9/11 victims. The legacy of Barack Obama. Barack Obama, even after completing 2 terms as the U.S. president, continues to hold a special place in the hearts of many. He continues to participate in politics, most recently seen endorsing Joe Biden, his former vice president, in the 2020 elections. Throughout his presidency, Obama sought to enact positive changes and foster unity in a world plagued by divisions. Despite encountering numerous obstacles and making a few mistakes, he always made decisions with kindness and empathy, striving to help as many people as possible. Unlike many politicians who were shaped by their political backgrounds, Obama's lack of political roots allowed him to prioritize helping others and effecting changes that would benefit future generations. His legacy is a testament to this, and it is why his presidency is remembered fondly by many. Reflections for personal growth. First, Obama's early years at Harvard Law School were marked by his desire to help others. How can you make a positive impact today? Look for opportunities to perform small acts of kindness on a daily basis and observe the difference you can make. Second, despite being the president, Obama always prioritized his family. Reflect on your work-life balance and consider whether any changes are needed. Third, while you may not be able to affect national change, what can you do for your local community? Are there any local causes you can support to help those less fortunate?